Welcome to Knives at Night. I'm Ben.
I'm Austin.
And today we're talking about the bougiest Lander 2 we've ever made. This is the Pete's Pirate Life Lander 2 with brass handle scales. Now, Austin, who is Peter McKinnon?
Pete is a very well-known photography YouTuber. He has about 6 million subscribers. Get him over that hump, guys. He has also had his work featured on Canadian currency. He's a closeted knife guy, and he may or may not be removing some clothing in an upcoming interview that we're about to throw to right now.
Let's go. What were we talking about, Pete?
How every time that I've met you in person, it's usually like I'm creeping up on you somehow.
It's a sneak attack.
Yes.
I was literally just sitting in the office. I was on a phone call in Spanish.
Yep.
And somebody starts like rubbing my love handles behind me. Like
Rubbing's a stretch. It was a little bit of a squeeze.
And Pete shows up. He's like, "I'm here." I'm like,
Yeah.
"From Canada?"
Yeah, they let me in.
The first time we met, I was on a phone call again.
And I came to your house.
You sneak attacked my house.
I did.
You're like, "Ben, I'm here."
Yeah.
I was on the Zoom call in corporate America.
Just standing on his front steps.
And I'm like, "Guys, a repairman is here."
Is that what you said? Right?
I hung up.
Yeah.
We have talked about doing a collaboration. Well, we were talking about that one when I was at Blade HQ.
Oh, we were.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that. Wow. So yeah.
That was a long time ago.
Longer than I had thought.
So this is remarkable, man. I am stoked. This is a Pete's Pirate Life Lander 2 with brass handle scales on it.
And it's heavy.
It weighs so much pounds.
It's
I don't know.
heavy.
I don't know the actual weight.
But
of
it's
it.
not too heavy that it's annoying. I was a bit concerned when they were like,
Okay.
"Are you sure you want to go full brass?" And I was like, 100% sure.
It took like 18 months, year and a half to get it done.
That was probably the longest running project we've ever done with Pete's Pirate Life. What was the hardest part?
Well,
the worst part?
Here's the thing about this is we did this very differently. This is a cast brass handle. They have to go and put it on a CNC and get rid of the casting marks.
Mm-hmm.
So they're milling out the inside of this. Now, the company that makes the coin also makes the scales. For a coin, the tolerance doesn't matter.
Yeah.
For a knife with a moving parts and a
has
pivot,
to matter, yeah.
it has to matter. So
Yeah.
we're like getting these scales in, and we're like,
Just a little off.
well, the blade is doing this sort of thing.
Yeah,
And
I
we're
can't
like,
live like that.
Can't do that.
No, I
So-
can't even sleep at night if it's not
No,
set. Yeah.
absolutely. And I'm like, it's going in a fancy boy
Yeah.
box, and like,
I can't
so
accept that.
The reason it took so long is that you're literally taking one process that would make a coin, and then you're putting it on a precision CNC mill, and you're milling out the inside, and you're milling out all the pockets and that sort of thing. But you don't get that cool texture. Each one is actually kind of unique. They all have the same cast, but when you look at the rope texture on all of them, they all kind of like turned out different, which to me is part of the appeal of the way we did it. But huge pain in the butt.
It basically was very hard to make.
Yeah. So when we started working on this idea, one of the first things to come out of it was this coin.
Yeah.
And we were like, how do you make Pete's Pirate Life and NAFs go together? And you're all about like ships and shipwrecks and all this stuff. And I
Yeah,
was like,
I've seemed to have a little bit of like a interest in like a pirate theme.
you do?
Yeah.
The Pete's Pirate Life.
Yeah,
and I was like,
small
well,
interest,
we're all about the moon.
Yeah.
And like that sort of thing. So we did this fat boy coin. This side has the moon,
Yep.
raise the tides, comes from
Yep.
the saying, a high tide raises all boats.
I did kind of wish maybe if we do another one day, I would love to somehow turn the skull into like with like whiskers to make it like a little bit of a cat,
Yeah.
just for you.
It's got some Easter eggs. Do you know what the Easter eggs?
Yeah, there's a little message underneath the clip.
Yep.
I believe it says "Fly the flag" under there.
And we acid washed the blade, just like a deep acid wash on there, acid stone wash. Pete, you've been into knives forever, man. What's the story?
I really have been into knives forever. It seems like it always surprises people,
Yeah.
and then they get really excited, like, "Oh, one of us."
Yeah, no, totally.
You know?
The Burnley keyhone
Yeah.
on your like 8 tricks for camera
Yeah,
tricks.
8
you had-
camera hacks, 90 seconds. I use that knife.
That's when I was like, wait a minute, this guy has
It's a custom.
Yeah, I was like, this
yeah.
is a knife guy.
Yeah.
That was my moment.
Yeah, I was working at a camera shop, and we used to get all these shipments in constantly. And every day they came with like plastic security tags on them, and you had to cut them off.
Yeah.
And I was always trying to find the pliers and things like that. And my boss had a Spyderco, and he gave me that to use. And every day I would go to his office and be like, "Can I get your knife? Can I get your knife? Can I get your knife?" And he was like, "Did you just get your own?" And I remember saying like, in what world would I need my own knife? Like I only need it for this part of the job. And as every knife person says, like, trust me, you'll use it for everything. Just try it. So I went and got a Spyderco,
Cool.
and the rest was history. Then I just kept buying them. and just kept buying them over and over and over. And then it got out of control, and then I had a Burnley knife.
Okay, so you told me once, and I'm just remembering this. You said, I've got so many knives, and you started giving them away.
I've given so many away.
That's what I wonder. How many knives in your collection at the peak?
Yeah.
And how many now?
At the peak, probably like 150.
Wow.
Now, probably 50.
Cool.
But I've probably dumped the collection in its entirety 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
And given them all away. Like, I don't sell them. I just gift them to everybody.
Okay, you can say no to this next question.
Sure.
Your leg.
Yeah.
Can you show us your leg?
You want me to take my pants off?
I don't know, man.
I'm happy to. Yeah, I'm happy. We'll be some pixelation.
I think I'm
we can probably
blushing.
do in post. I think
we
do this all
Jamie,
the time.
we need this. Fix it in post, will you?
I
Please
do this
fix it
all
in
the time.
post.
All right, Pete is currently taking off his pants.
All right, here.
I am so sorry. Okay,
all right.
we need a close up.
Okay, here we go.
Strategically.
Dude, I haven't seen this one.
I cut myself here. The scar's fading, but the arrow is there, so I wouldn't forget. But I cut myself with a Benchmade 87 right here, and up a little bit closer, I cut myself with a ProTech TR5. Now that was a real risky one, and I'm still mad at myself for doing that. I did the butterfly knife because I've always loved them. This one though, let me show you what I was actually doing. I'm gonna get my pants back on real quick here. Yeah.
I still think I'm blushing.
You come to the NAFS
In
HQ
all my days,
and the
I've
pants come off.
I've never done that. The reason I did that, Pete would send me pictures occasionally. He's like, I'm getting a new tattoo.
Yeah.
Benchmade 87. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, there's probably gonna be a Lander tattoo on there at some point.
He's like, I cut my leg. I got to get a tattoo. And I'm like, no way. So, Pete, I'm sorry. We didn't prep for that.
No, I'm happy you did it. Dude, I was cutting another like plastic tag off of a bicycle, and I was blade towards me, and I was like giving leverage on it, which is just a huge mistake. If you use knives, like there's knife etiquette.
Yeah.
That was not knife etiquette, and the clip broke, and I went straight in and cut my leg, and I was instantly terrified, and I taped it up, and yeah.
I know you
Didn't bleed out.
You love tattoos, but like for you, when you cut yourself, why are you getting a tattoo for that?
It's actually my wife's idea.
Really?
Yeah, she was like, it would be really funny if you tattooed like a circle around the scar or like an arrow to what it is. And then I thought, that's genius. So I started doing it, and I'll probably just keep doing it. A lot of my tattoos are my own writing.
Cool.
And just inside jokes. But I don't know, I think like personal moments and like little highlights and memories, like Holiday sitting across from us right now, like he's just awesome. So I tattooed his last name on my finger.
That's cool.
If my friend right now was here, I would get a NAFS tattoo and have you sign it, and I would just tattoo it on my leg.
Dude, anytime you need a tattoo on your
if you ever come visit me, that's what we'll do. I'll let you even do it. Yeah.
Dude, give my first tattoo. That'd be
100%.
amazing. Guys, this is Peter McKinnon. If you're not following him, go check him out. I think you have one of the most interesting and inspiring styles on the internet, and I'm not blowing smoke.
Thank you.
His Instagram's amazing. His YouTube is amazing. You will learn all sorts of things. And the way I described you is you're like a train wreck in that you can't look away, right? Like you start talking.
Yeah.
And I'm like, one day I was watching one of your videos with my mom, and she's like, "Who is that?" It's like in the best way possible, right? Like if something amazing or magnanimous is happening, you can't look away. That is Peter McKinnon, and that is how he does.
That's cool. You're very good at giving compliments, and they're very unique compliments.
Yeah,
Unlike others that I've received, they're very like thoughtful.
I hope they're not backhanded.
No, they're very well crafted.
Well, and I mean that. And it's stuff that I've said before. Like you have this ability to draw people into a video and make them stay there. And make them feel something.
Well,
and I
that is
think
the goal.
you and Kirk do that really well together.
Yeah, big team effort for
You
sure.
make them feel something, and they walk away saying, "What? I want to do that."
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny when you've worked with someone for so long too, like Kirk and I are. I can just look at him and be like, it's almost like we're speaking in code. I'll say, for a shoot we're doing today, let's do the thing, kind of swell the music, build up, boots drop, I'll do some dust, like kind of comes in. He's like, okay, and then we'll drop that thing, and then I'm like, yeah, get like, and like get kind of like a stutter effect into like with the wind, and he's like, yeah, I'll start right now. And I'm like, cool. And people are like, did you just have a stroke? Like, what did I just see? And like, we just had a full communication on how we're going to film an entire video or how we're going to do something very creative. And then at the end, like when you watch it back and if you had recorded that conversation, you would see it actually unfolding. You'd be like,
Well,
this is crazy.
even as you were saying it, I'm like, I know 3 videos where I've seen that sequence,
Yeah,
but I'm like,
yeah.
I don't know what it looks like,
yeah,
right?
yeah. So it's fun being able to work with someone when you can get on that level. And
Dude, that's
I'm sure
cool.
you know, even you and Jamie have been working together
Oh,
forever.
we've
and
spent a ton of time together.
like we got here and Jamie was literally like, well, should we film something? You're like, set it up. 8 seconds later, he's got
Here we
headphones
are.
on and my pants are off. So
we have that effect.
yeah.
Oh man, Pete, what a pleasure. Your stopping by is always a surprise.
Yep.
And always a pleasure. Thank you.
Yep. And
Appreciate
I'm
you.
very excited for this. Thanks for letting us
Yep.
be a part of it.
You bet.
It's a beautiful knife, so very excited.
Awesome. Guys, thank you. Thanks, Pete.
Yeah. Next time we'll do the same thing.
I
Same
hope next time you need to be filming when you walk in the door
I'll be standing on your roof next time.
to
when you
film
come
my
home.
reaction. I'll be like, "What? Who are you?"
Next time you'll just see me somewhere with my pants down and you'll be like, hey,
Hey, I know that tattoo.
I know that guy. That's awesome.
And that was Peter McKinnon. That man is a delight.
Wild man.
Pete only comes on sneak attacks.
Well, and where's Pete from?
He's from Toronto, Canada, man.
Unbelievable. So why
Yeah.
is he here? That's the question.
So he was here filming like a rodeo cowboy sort of thing. His agency that manages a lot of what he does is literally 4 minutes from here.
Super cool.
And so Pete makes it out to Utah actually fairly frequently compared to maybe other places. But I've been stoked, man, that we've gotten this to work.
Cool.
Pete's Pirate Life with brass handles.
Yeah.
It's obscene. Have you spent a lot of time with this, Austin?
A little bit, but yeah, maybe give us the rundown of what in general it is. I know a little bit about it, but
So S35VN steel, you've got your classic Lander 2 shape. So we didn't go with a different blade shape or anything on this. It is an acid washed handle, or acid washed blade, excuse me. If you look at your classic black Lander 2, this was one of the early prototypes. And we put it together with just the handles, the first samples of the handles. And we were like, it just needs more.
Yeah.
So this is a collaboration between Pete's Pirate Life, which is owned by Peter McKinnon and Big Eye Design. And so Chad at Big Idea Design, who we've had on the show before, he's like, it needs to look like a found object.
right.
And I was like, found object? What does that even mean? So I was like, we must acid wash.
Yep.
We must give it that kind of like came up from the ocean sort of feeling.
Very rustic, has had some exposure,
Yeah.
something like that.
Totally.
Yeah.
But even like the box it comes with, like some of these seams, you're like, yeah, it's not perfect, which is actually part of the charm of all of it.
Absolutely.
Like, as we were doing quality control on these, we kind of had to sit there with the team. We're like, look, found object. That scratch stays. Go.
Yeah.
Pass it.
Yeah, there is an example here of like, it's meant to be worn, like you said, like it's meant
Yeah.
to have a look to it. That's why it's got little cracks kind of scriggled in there.
I'm actually really excited. I want to see in a few years what this looks like after people have carried it.
I know. I'm really excited to see that. It's also a hefty guy.
It is super hefty.
Yeah, should we measure that?
Yeah, we brought up the scale today. We haven't done this before.
Yeah.
Are we all teared up here?
There it is.
All right. This one weighs 5.8 ounces.
My goodness. So to give you a comparison, I think a regular Lander 2 is about 2.9, 2.8, somewhere
Right
in there.
under 3.
Yep. So coming up on double the weight on that guy.
It's so heavy.
Yes, it is chunky.
So when they proposed doing this, you basically, because there is an internal milled nested liner in here, I was like, this is going to have to be thick. And Chad's like, yes.
We like thick.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
But we also made this coin that is like, and I don't know how well this translates on camera, but like, do you remember slammers?
Oh,
Like
yes.
pog slammers?
This is maybe even thicker than my biggest slammer that I had.
It's like a serious slammer.
Yeah.
And you know how you had like thick ones and you're like, yeah, I'm winning pogs today.
Yeah.
This is that one.
I'm flipping all those pogs.
Yes.
Yes.
It goes with the knife really well in that it's just chunky.
Yeah, super cool.
So the other thing that we sat there and debated quite a bit on this is like the Peter McKinnon side of the coin was going to be super simple. Put a skull on it, put a map on it, you're done.
Yep.
And I was like, well, NAFS is the moon and we are like space. And I was like, well, what if we put the moon on it? But like the moon controls the tides.
Yes.
And then there's the saying like a high tide raises all boats.
Yep.
And I was like, raise the tide. Because it's kind of this idea of like, you can make a difference in the world. Like what kind of tides can you raise and change within the world? So raise the tide.
Love that.
I've never carried this because I'm like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
It's heavy.
It's heavy, it's thick, but I mean, if you're like a worry stone kind of guy or something, this is gonna be right up
super
your
fun.
alley. Super
I
cool.
used to keep challenge coins on my desk.
Okay.
And spin them like this.
Nice.
All day long.
Does this come with any other special goodies?
Those are the big things. Sits in the box like this, so when you open it, it's kind of fancy. It does come with this sticker, which I think is kind of fun. We basically tried to combine the Pete's Pirate Life and the Gary the Cat, except it's not Gary the Cat. This is a new cat.
Okay.
I wasn't planning on it.
Old ancestor maybe of Gary or something?
I don't know, man. He's like got chunks of his ear bitten out.
Yeah,
like,
that's a
missing
feral
an
guy
eye.
or
Yeah, he's
something.
like feral.
Yeah.
Anyway, we put that together because I was like, this must be done. So the same guy, Trent, who designed Gary, also designed this cat. What do we name this cat?
What a fun project. Maybe we need some comments.
I don't know. Man.
Yeah. What do you guys
I don't know
think?
if this cat comes back. I think it's a one-time cat.
True, this might be Pete's cat.
Pete's cat.
Yeah.
Anyway, comes with a sticker as well, and then your classic little, just your schematic and all your rules. This is some of my favorite copy I've ever written.
And I love the little pirate touches on this as well. Very, very fun.
Yep. So if you end up buying one, read the copy. I spend some time on it.
Yep.
So here's the thing I like about the Lander 2. It's really fun to see where it started and where it's going. So we kind of want to just talk through that because I feel like, Austin, we could almost put like a case on the wall now of like Lander 2s and where it's been. So like the line starts with your G10 evolution, right? It comes in blue, comes in black.
Yeah.
S35, pretty like down the middle.
And I think for me, like, why is it so popular? I feel like it's the right size for a lot of people. It fits a lot of builds, sort of thing. And it's got the right materials, man.
It does.
It's not super high end. We're not using Magna Cut or Maximid or something like that on any of these models. These are all S35 that you're going to see here. So, pretty reasonable steel, but very awesome as well. And I think the other thing, and we're really showcasing it in this video, is like, put some flair on that guy.
Yeah, man.
A lot of people maybe don't love to swap their own scales and stuff like that. They want to buy a pre-built. That's why we did them for you too. We made a whole lineup here of cool exclusives or pre-builts with trout scales or whatever that may be to have some fun with it.
And the other thing I love about this line is it's evolving in a way that is really interesting and fun to me personally. Like the Moondust Micarta one is super interesting and fun. The clip point with like your brown paper micarta, it's sort of that classic feeling. I don't know. It's a very fun little line. And I've been thrilled that people are like, let's collab around it. Let's have some fun with it.
Yeah. Well, and you know what I'm thinking now as you're talking about it is like, this has also kind of been our blank canvas knife, right? Like this is your first clip point blade, maybe your first Tonto blade. Like you're getting a lot of experience in changing things. The Moondust pattern came from the Lander too, like we got to try a lot of things and a lot of things worked with this knife.
Yeah. I love too, like the iterations we've done. So this is the Carry Commission edition of the Lander 2. Some people have asked when this is coming out again. Should be...
we're expecting to ship them stuff in a couple months here. Yeah. So maybe 3 months.
3-4 months on that one. We've done the Lunar edition. We've done the Lander Remote, which I think these are gone now.
We have a couple left. It's probably gone by the time you get to this video, but if not, check it out.
And then we've done the Dan Becker Grand Canyon version.
Yeah,
and then we've done the Pete's Pirate Life version. So I don't know if people collect these.
Yeah. You've got plenty of options to collect from.
You could.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not a collector of things. I know some people do, though.
Yeah, and we've done, the last 4, or I guess 5 here, the MMTW ones, those might come out more in the future, but these other ones are pretty much done at this point.
That one's done.
Yeah,
this one,
it's a maybe.
Probably mostly done.
Yeah, mostly done. PPL is going to be a one-run thing.
Yeah, and this is the part that, like, is kind of wild because we take all this time in R&D to make this model.
Yeah.
We're never coming back to this.
Oh, I know.
So like we've learned a lot about the process of forging the brass or casting the brass scales and then milling them. Kaiser learned a lot on this project too. Right. So I could see us using that in the future, but we're never coming back to this exact pattern again.
We don't just get to reorder these, unfortunately.
I was talking to Chad about this. I can't remember if it was in the interview we did with him or if it was just he and I chatting. I'm like, Chad, you go through this entire R&D process and then you just like burn the bridge. He's like, I like a burnt bridge.
Like, different philosophy.
Way to go, Chad.
Yeah, I love that.
It's super fun. So super grateful to Pete's Pirate Life Big Idea Design and Peter McKinnon for doing this project with us and rocking and rolling. So
Super exciting.
Super fun.
Yep.
We got a couple comments and a little bit of mailbag today. We're going to do a little bit of a lighter episode just to keep it easy for Jamie to edit.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jamie,
Thanks,
for editing.
Jamie.
We appreciate him. He's behind the camera, smiling at us.
Always.
Loves us. This one is from Lane, who is graduating, class of 2025.
Congrats, Lane.
He's out in South Hutchinson, Kansas.
Okay.
He invited us to his graduation. Now,
Wow.
if I had all the money and the time in the world, Austin,
Yeah.
do you know what I would do?
You'd be going to graduations.
I would absolutely just like show up.
Weddings.
I'd like vlog it and be like, Lane,
Yes.
where are you? And I'd just like hand him a knife and then
Yeah.
like disappear into the crowd.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
This has become one of my favorite parts of our business that we have here is like, you know, you could throw it all the way back to maybe the haikus that we did and stuff like that, but people just send us invites.
Yeah.
And, you know, I don't know that they ever expect us to show up, and we typically don't, but it's a cool little thing that people are doing.
It's
so.
pretty dang cool. I don't, if only we could just road trip everywhere.
We have good intentions.
Lane also wrote us a handwritten note, and I like this part. He said, part of what got me interested in knives was your knife bender videos. I miss those so much, and I often go back and watch them over and over. Lane, this is the next best thing.
You got 3 of those people in this room right now, so.
That is true.
Yes.
So super fun to see.
Yep.
Going on to the comment section in the mailbox.
Let's do it. Thrills and Brazils. I like that name. Shout out for
too.
Keith. We had a great visit with him at the shop not long ago. Purchased my first NAF from the guy from Brazil.
That's amazing.
Yeah, super
Thrills,
cool.
thanks for stopping in. Keith is a gem, and we love having him on the crew. This one is from Seppuku with a Spider Co. It's awesome that you guys are doing the show every week now. Everyone I know loves it, and you guys. Thanks, fellas. The Napstronauts appreciate it.
Thank you.
So, we are trying to do it every week. It's
Working hard.
Man,
Yeah.
it's a thing.
Sometimes you get shorter videos.
Yep,
Yep,
like
that
this one.
happens. Sparky J, I look forward to these vids. Thank you for the enthusiasm. It's fun. You are welcome, Sparky J. We definitely try to have fun with them.
Mr. Smith 3986. The second worst knife name is Gerber, right after Nafs.
Oh, those
Wow.
nice fighting words.
They are fighting.
Oh
words.
my
That was coming from our bad knife names video. There were some good ones there. The thing about Gerber that I find really interesting on a trademark level, let's get nerdy for a second. So you have Gerber toilets, you have Gerber baby food,
Yep.
and you have Gerber knives.
Yep.
And they're all in a different class of goods,
Right.
so they can all have the same name. It's like Dove chocolate
Crazy.
and Dove soap,
Soap.
or Delta Airlines and Delta faucets.
Oh, yes.
You can have the exact same name, it just has to be in a different class of goods. So, Mr. Smith, I wish you liked the NAF's name, but you're watching the videos, so we'll take it.
All right. Chris in Texas here. He's got a long comment. Lander 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Basically, almost ZT is what I guess he's comparing our lineup to ZT's, which I can see where he's making that connection. Remove the common part and you have NAFs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I hate to say it, but you have similar issues here with knife names.
I'm going to disagree, though, Chris. Let's talk about this, Chris in Texas. There's a difference between a Lander 1 name or a Lander 4 or 5 or 6 and a ZT02247.
Yeah, because
right?
they feel like random numbers in those.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, like, I think if we get up to a Lander 45, same issue.
Yeah.
But, like, name a ZT knife.
0440, I think.
You think.
I don't
You
know
don't
for
know
sure.
for sure?
Yeah.
Name another one.
0450, I do know that one.
Okay, name another one.
3, nope, that's all
It
I
falls
got.
off a cliff,
Yeah, that's
right?
all I got.
So I think that's just it, is you can name a Lander 1 through 6.
Yeah.
And people will remember it.
Yeah.
Anyway, Chris, thank you for your comment. This comes from Plucky Packrat. Who'd win in a mountain bike race between Ben Banters and Melissa Backwoods? 100% Melissa.
Oh.
Because I'm slow, I'm steady. I like to look at the clouds and the
Okay.
mountains.
I mean,
Like,
I'll speak for the people. The people want to see it, is what
that would
I'm
actually be really
thinking.
fun. Melissa, if you're watching, Blade, Texas? No, Blade, Utah?
There we go. Yeah, come out. We'll race.
We could find a bike.
Heck
That would
yes.
actually be really entertaining.
Oh, cool.
Melissa is a gem. If you don't follow her on the socials,
Yeah.
you should. She does a really good job.
She rocks.
Yep.
Another one here from Aaron Wong. I EDC'd the Wrinkle for almost a decade. Love that knife. I saw a lot of love for the Wrinkle actually in the comments.
I feel like there are some really inappropriate responses to that.
Sure.
You should work that out.
Go to the doctor or something like that. Yeah, but yeah, I think it's fun.
That episode was really fun. It was goofy.
I had a good time.
This is from the Mamba 1965. Everyone, I watch your videos. I think that's every time. Every time I watch your videos, I think I would love to work at NAFS. Not sure what I would do. Do you have a greeter? Not yet, Mamba, but that would be entertaining.
Hopefully one day.
That would be awesome.
Yep.
It's funny because we have a good culture here, but it's also a place to work, right? I think people see a job that we're doing and they're like, that looks fun. And that's like, cool, we did our jobs.
Yeah.
But also, like, what do you spend most of your time doing right now, Austin?
Spreadsheets. All day, every day. Yeah, I mean, let's talk about Keith for a half second. Keith is maybe technically the greeter of the storefront.
Yeah.
It is like 10% of his job to work in this storefront. He's got a lot of other stuff going on, so we all wear a lot of hats around.
How much of your time is NAS at night, Austin?
Less than a couple hours. I mean, 3 hours a week, something like that. 4 hours a week. So,
Not very much.
Yeah.
So the part that you see is really fun. The spreadsheet part, that's business, kids.
Yeah.
So, guys, thanks for watching. A little bit of a different episode today, a little bit shorter. We'll have another video coming out for you next week.
See you then.